panelists come up and talk to you all about essentially how to be a thriving, opulent, emerging, empowering leader. And we have some of my favorite women in business who always do what need to be done. Your moderator, however, if you think I got a lot of energy, this one right here, I absolutely adore her. Y'all make some noise for the moderator. She is a queen, a powerhouse in her own right. Y'all give it up for my beautiful Miss Kim.
Last night, and I'm the rookie on this all-star team. Me and Kim is getting cream like Thelma and Louise, but on chrome. Never leave that Brooklyn shit alone. So if you say it's on, then it's on.
Bang this in your whips, Captain Cody with the chips in the wrist. Here's a French kiss. I dismiss all you chicks. Spit six from the 4/5, make it dance. Ow! I stay focused in the dopest, like a penny with a hole in it. Y'all just hopeless and hopeless. I ain't lying. Niggas trying to knock me off. Keep trying. All it takes is one phone call to my street team. Promote that ass like a soundtrack.
Hey! Hey! It's your time! I had to come out to a little something. I've got two other women with me. Now, you all got to give it up for my soror and our hostess. Give it up for my girl. Come on out here, baby. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Oh, okay. We have, all right. So before I bring two dynamic women to the stage, I want the brothers to stay, because we're going to talk to you too. It is the she suite, but what we have to say is also the he suite. I just made that up. Y'all don't tweet that, Instagram that? Okay. So we're going to talk about the he suite and the she suite. So I'm going to bring out two women, and they're going to need some music too, DJ. They're going to need the same music I had. We're going to bring out
get it.
My girl, Sarita Wellesley.
I'm the rookie on this all-star team. Me and Kim is getting cream like Thelma and Louise, but on chrome. Never leave that Brooklyn shit alone. So if you say it's on, then it's on.
Bang this in your whips, Captain Cody with the chips in the wrist. Make it dance. Ow! I stay focused in the dopest, like a penny with a hole in it. Y'all just hopeless and hopeless.
Thank you. All right, shout out to DJ Chuck T. Give it up.
DJ Chuck D.
Okay, I gotta get me one of those to say Kimberly S. Reed when I come out on stage. All right, we're gonna jump right into the she suite because we got planes to catch, not feelings. But I'm from Philly, New Jersey, whatever, New Jersey area, Philly. Rita from Boogie Down.
I'm from Philly.
Oh yeah, from Philly, but you live in Boogie Down.
Yeah, I live in Brooklyn.
You live in Brooklyn. And Ms. Monique is here because we ate at the restaurant and we partied at the club on Friday. And I had the best collard greens on this side of heaven that I've ever had. Yes, Miss Monique. But we're going to jump right into the she suite and the he suite. And I'm going to talk to these brilliant women. And I'm going to kick this off with a simple question. Because we have artists in the building, independent artists, right, in the building. And you all are here to get the bag. Period. You all are here to be exposed. You all are here to have access. You all are here to network, not just to take pictures. Because remember, Juliet Jones dropped the biggest gem on me yesterday when she said that your gram could have pictures of you being a star. But if you don't have any pictures of music or anything with music, then she can't look at you. So I'm going to ask these two women, because Miss Monique is an entrepreneur and a Renaissance woman. Sarita just came out of corporate as the head of global podcasting for Sony, and a creative. She's going to talk about the television show that she has written and marketing right now, because she's hustling just like you all are. How important are relationships and networking in this business, or in the business that you are in? And the part B to that question is, what do you tell a room full of artists that are trying to get that bag? Whoever wants to go.
All right. What I'm going to say about this is my number one pet peeve. And that is this concept of building relationships. You know, I have an expression that says, you can choose to go solo and you will remain solo. So you have a choice. You can think you're it. I'm going to do this myself. I don't need anyone. That's not the course of wisdom in business. If you're any successful professional or entrepreneur understands the power of relationship building. You want to be able to network. You want to have mentors. You need that in order to reach pinnacles of success. And so it is absolutely imperative that you master this art of building relationships, of networking. And I always say it's not just networking, right? It's in being intentional about who you're networking with. Are these individuals that have the ability to move you to other levels? Because you can network with your peers, but where is that necessarily going to get you if they're not at levels that you're trying to achieve, right? And so it's not always easy, because sometimes we get nervous trying to approach others that are where we would like to be, but muster up that strength and understand the power of that relationship building. It is extremely pertinent to your business success.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. Sarita.
I definitely agree. As a person who is a little on the more shy side, I'm a bit more of an introvert when it comes to reaching out to people and stuff like that. So I understand if people feel like that, if they're, when it comes to like, I want to put myself out there, but I don't really want to go into this massive room of people and talk to this person, that person. I would say authenticity first. Showing up as your most authentic self in a networking situation, I think, is key. You never know what in common you might have with someone. It could be anything as small as both being from Philly, or anything. It could honestly be super small, a hobby, a favorite artist, whatever have you. Show all sides of yourself as well, not just the side that you want to get the deal that you're aiming for. And I also think, like, you talked about the social media presence, Instagram, things like that. I'm not a person that posts a lot on Instagram, but I do post my accomplishments. And I think that posting your accomplishments and posting the ways in which you're leveling up continuously is a really good representation. So when you do achieve something, it's nice to put that out there. And one last thing on in DEI, I believe there's a saying that is.
And that's diversity. For the group. That's diversity, equality, and inclusion.
Yeah. So there's a saying I believe that's like rise up and reach back. It's important, yes, to have mentors. It's also important to mentor other people that are coming up under you, even if you haven't fully made it to the level that you want to be at yet. I think that's extremely important because you also never know. I have mentees that are now executives at television networks and all of these things that I was like, oh wow, I'm coming to you for a job. So it's I think that's really important also when it comes to building relationships and maintaining those.
You all may have heard this cliche called "Your network is your net worth." Who has heard it? Who's heard of that? Yeah. Let me drop something else to you. Your relationships are your currency. That's your bag. Relationships. Both of these women have talked about that in different lanes. I'm going to give you another lane. The founder of this conference, what's his name? All right. Okay, now, the reason why I'm asking you that is because you have to know where you are. You have to know who you're talking to. You got to do your research. Who gave their email address up on the screen? There you go. A handful of you will email him. Because a handful of you remembered that his name was on the screen. You never miss an opportunity to increase your currency. Relationships are what? Your what? There you go. You guys are rolling with us, right? All right. So the reason why I tell you about your currency, and this is for the fellas and the ladies, is because some of you may have been at the welcome reception. Benny talked about, and when he introduced me, he talked about how we met. We both had books. But one of the things that you find with someone is what you have in common. Sarita also said, be yourself. You have to be yourself. Don't be anybody else but you. I'm going to ask Sarita, and then I'm going to ask Monique this next question. Sarita, on the topic of access and networking, because once again, all of these people are here to get the bag. Mm-hmm. You're trying to get the bag. Tell us a little bit about the project. Mm-hmm. And there were two people that you're collaborating with that you had to build a relationship with. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Talk about that a little bit. And talk about it from a perspective of how to, because I want everyone to take out their devices. I want we're going to school, because this is how you get the deal done, is through networking, ingredient number 1. All right? And we're going to walk away with 3 before we're done. All right? Sarita.
Well, so yes, I most recently was the head of entertainment podcast for Sony Music, but I've always been pretty multifaceted. I've always had my hand in a lot of pots, irons in a lot of fires. So as well as being an entertainment executive, I also am a writer. It's a huge passion of mine, and I wrote a script back in 2015 that I was shopping around with a friend. It's been through many different iterations with many different people within the industry. It was meant to be a television sitcom, and then around the pandemic time, we were contacted by Leonard McKelvey, who is Charlemagne the God, and Kevin Hart. They were coming together to make a deal with Audible under their production company, SBH Productions, which Silly stands for Short, Black, and Handsome, and that's that's their company. But what they were doing is
He ain't all that handsome. No, I'm just playing. I'm
Yeah.
just playing. We are being recorded. Just playing, Kevin.
They were bringing content serving Black audiences to Audible, and so they purchased my my script. And we ended up recording it. We've had some really great stars in it. It stars Alicia Renee. We have Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison, Lamar Morris is in it, Nina Parker, Logan Lorice, a few other folks. Of course, Kevin and Charlemagne are in it as well. But building those relationships with them and with the Audible team, it was really interesting because the script is, I'm not gonna say it's risque, but you know, it has language in it, and it has suggestive things in it, and having to have those corporate conversations, but you know, from the perspective of even like, I am the creator, I'm the person that's writing this, these are my words, this is what I'm putting out, and I'm bringing it to you, head of Audible. I hope you like it, you know, and aren't offended. So I would say that it's the process of that is a big one, and that's where it also comes in handy, being multifaceted and being able to do, you know, multiple things. I do always show up as my most authentic self. What you're seeing right now is exactly who I am. But also knowing how to talk to certain people is a big thing. And you know, as a Black woman, I was in a room with majority white people trying to explain a lot of colloquial things that were very, you know, specific to my culture. And, you know, all of those things. I would say that, you know, having to figure out, like, it's okay to talk about, you know, this risque thing that's inside of your script with a person that, you know, is at the head of this company and all of that stuff, you know. It's fine to do that as long as you are showing up true to yourself and are being, you know, you are able to back up your content. You're able to explain why this is the content that I wrote. This is why this character does this or says this, you know, and so on. So I hope that answers the question.
Oh, no, absolutely, because what you're saying is, too, Sarita, what I'm hearing is that you have to stay true to your craft. Everyone in here has music that they are passionate about. Mm-hmm. But there's also things that people are going to tell you you need to change. Yeah. And you cannot get in your feelings about that. Mm-hmm. Right? You have your music, you have your music, you have your creative, you have your scripts that you're married to. I had a book. When the publisher sent it back to me and all that read, I was in my feelings.
Yeah, that's
I felt some
to me.
type of way. Like, my book was good. How you gonna have all this read in the book? And I had to rewrite it.
It also is okay to go to bat for your creative too. I've had a couple of times where, you know, getting your things back and it's all marked up in red because they don't like this or that. It's okay to say, well, what was it about this that you didn't like? And that's the same thing with music. Well, what is it about that you don't like? And why are you, as long as you know why you're passionate about it or why you want to make it happen is what the key is, honestly. And if you can offer that, people can't really argue with you, to be honest.
Okay.
They can try. They can try. They better have a good reason.
For sure. Now, and also, you know, I think being an artist is also very entrepreneurial, Monique. And you own a restaurant. Tell me, a social club. Thank you. You own a social club. See, I called it a restaurant because I'm still on those greens. You own a social club, and it is amazing. Talk to us, because I am sure through the process, as all of these individuals are going through, they heard no. How did you deal with hearing the word no? And what did you do when you heard the word no? Because obviously you have a social club now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The word no doesn't always have to be something that's so negative. It just means sometimes that maybe the perspective that we're looking at things may need to pivot a little bit, right? So I always say no means shift, right? That's all. It means shift. I have an example. Last night, many of the artists from this conference came over to our space, were invited. We invited them over. And my husband and I were excited to give them the opportunity to perform in front of our audience. Now, of course, we're our membership-based social club, right? So we're not the club. We are a very upscale atmosphere. So you have to understand where you are, okay? So yes, you're musicians, you have your passion about what you want to do, but in our establishment, the rules are no profanity and no music that defames the character of women. That is an unapologetic standard that we set for those that we service. So some of the artists came in and they were kind of a little perturbed about that rule, right? It's nothing against you as an artist. It's just the standard that we choose to set in our establishment. And so that doesn't mean, no, we don't want you to perform. It means shift. That's it, just shift. And as an artist, as creatives, you all do need to have, if you want to be able to be more versatile, you need to be open to having different varieties of music that would apply to different situations and locations that you're in, if you want to be versatile, right? Now, you can stay in your own way. It just means certain locations are not for you then. And you have to understand that too. And it's okay, right? But we weren't saying, no, we don't want you to perform. We're saying shift. And so I've learned that in my years in business and as an entrepreneur, because I've been in both sides. I've been in the corporate side. I come out of the hospitality industry as director of sales in hotels. And then I'm on the entrepreneur side. So I have both sides in what I do. I too am an author. And so I had the same experience. My 5th book I just wrote, I'm actually just published it. We have a book launch coming up in February. But the same thing, the publisher looked at my book and she sent me back a note. She said, there's one thing missing in your book. I said, what's that? She said, your story. I said, I don't feel like going through all that. That's what I told her. I said, I don't feel like, I didn't put my story in there because I really don't want to revisit it, right? And so she was like, well, how will people know why you are an expert to be able to help them? The name of my book is Unclogged. How will they know that you're an expert to teach someone how to get unclogged if they don't know your story, right? You know how sometimes y'all don't want to revisit what you done been through, right? Because that means bringing up a bunch of old feelings. You don't feel like it. And you know what? I had to sit and process that. And guess what I did? Sat my bottom down, right? Shifted, and wrote that journey out and how it applied. How many times in my life was I clogged up? And how many times I had to get unclogged. And this is why I'm able to write and help others to get unclogged. And so she wasn't saying, no, we don't want to take your book. She's saying, shift.
So you know that was good, right? That was good. So before we get to Q&A, time goes by fast, right? I just want to rewind real quick. Relationships are your what? Good. That was the first thing. The second is the art of no, because you are going to fail far more than you succeed, and it's all good, right? I've been in the entrepreneur game for 16 years, right before I left corporate America. I loved corporate America. I was getting money. As an entrepreneur, I wasn't getting money in the beginning. I'm all right now. But that not getting money phase in those no's in the relationships, in the emails, in the phone calls, in the sweating of people that I had to do. And that's not really my personality, because you're just supposed to take my call and answer my email. It was very difficult for me to accept, but I had to become, which is my last point for these ladies before we go into Q&A. Third and last point, being a chameleon. A chameleon is adaptable to every situation, but it always stays a chameleon. Ladies, I want you to be brief with your answers for this question, because we're going to get to yours. But that third and last point is be a chameleon. Sarita, you and I were talking backstage, and you've had to be a chameleon. Head of Sony, head of podcasting.
I was gonna say, whoa.
I know, right? At Sony, first African American in that role, woman,
The only, by the way.
only,
We're getting married.
40, not even young, killing the game. And now you're on your own, dipping into entrepreneurship. You're still on top, but you had to be a chameleon.
Yeah.
Tell them how that felt.
I mean, my life is built on change. So,
Wait a minute. Life is built on change.
yeah.
Good. That's a good sound bite.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I've had so many different careers. I mean, when I came out of college, when I came out of college, I went into reality television. I did casting for reality TV and development for 10 years. And then I shifted and moved to Portland, Oregon, and worked in advertising at Wieden & Kennedy, which is like the foremost independent agency in the world. And then I came out of there and started working in podcast production with Westbrook, which is Will and Jada's company, and then on to, scripted stuff, and then, pivoting to Sony. And then, so I think accepting change is what I try to do in order to remain a chameleon. Being open to opportunities that are presented to me. They might not always seem like this is the fit that is gonna fit the best, but being open and receptive to it is honestly how I stay okay with being a chameleon and working in different, industries.
Being open, being receptive. And what was the first one that we said?
Oh, change.
Life.
Life is built on change.
Life is
It
built on change.
Yeah.
Being a chameleon. Miss Monique.
So, how I've been a chameleon, because I've been in corporate, dipped out of corporate, did my entrepreneurship full time. Then economy and things change, had to pop back into corporate, but always had entrepreneurship as the underlying thing that I did, right? So always behind the scenes, in or out of corporate, I'm an entrepreneur, period. However, what has gotten me through is my attitude. It's my attitude. It's how I show respect to people, no matter what level they're on. It's how I show respect in a room, even when I don't fully agree with what's being said, right? It's learning how to, as we talked about this behind stage, how to shake a table when you're in the room, but not flip it over. Because if I flip over the table and get thrown out the room, how am I going to be able to help you all? I won't even have a voice, right? And I will not be invited back into the room, which is where I need to be to help you all, right? So my attitude has helped me. And that saying, we say it all the time, but are we really listening? Your attitude determines your altitude. Are we really hearing that? Right? So your point doesn't always have to be the point, right, at that time. There's a time and a place for everything, right? But be careful on how you treat others and that level of respect that you continue to maintain as you travel in your journey. That is what's helped me to be a chameleon.
Excellent. Look at that attitude. All right. Very good. 2, quick. Yes, yes, and yes. And I got 2 books I got a book for you, and I got a book for you. Okay? Good stuff. Yes, yes, sir, real quick, because I'll get the flag one more time. And then we're going to say I'm going to say the final thought, wrap us up. You guys going to tell me the 3 things, and we going home. Well, y'all not, but we are. All right. Yes, sir.
How you doing, ladies? My name is
Hello.
Pat X. I've learned a lot throughout my journey, and so a lot of people look to me for insight on various things. I know that my cup doesn't have to overflow to give other people a sip, but how do you combat the feeling of imposter syndrome and feeling like you have to have arrived before instilling gems and whatnot in other people?
I would say that everybody, even the people that you see on the stage, even the people who put on this conference, are a continuous work in progress. You know, like it's so. Think of people in that way. You know, you're not an imposter. You're working through things. Just because you haven't accomplished the pie in the sky doesn't mean that you haven't accomplished anything. You said you've learned a lot. I'm sure people find a lot of value in your experience. And just even having that is plenty. So I would just keep that in mind, that everybody is a work in progress.
Thank you. And yes, your next question. Now, real quick, I want to hear from a sister, because this is the She Suite originally. All right, good. So I want to hear it. So good. And I want everybody to say this real quick. I am enough. Go. I am enough. There we go. All right. Yes, sir, and ma'am. And Miss Monique, you want to answer his?
How you doing? My name is Julian Quander. I'm a music artist. And I just want to say, all the artists who did here know, if you didn't make the Sweet 16, hold your head high, okay? Hold your head high.
You taking my job.
Hold your head high.
Yes.
It's all good. It's all good.
What's your
giving
question,
up?
baby?
You ain't giving up, are you? Are you giving up? Nah, none of us are giving up, all right? So
That's
hold
right.
your head high.
That's right.
So I just want to ask you, do you guys mentor men? Because I know you got the woman's thing, but do y'all mentor actually men?
Well, my husband and I are definitely...
Wave husband.
Yes, my husband's right here. Mm-hmm. Kevin Douglas. Kevin and I mentor a lot of individuals, male and female, right? But Kevin particularly, he's a professional photographer and videographer, and been in the creative space and in the corporate space, and the connection between the two for over 20 years, and he's also a veteran. And so we mentor all types of individuals, right? Because no matter whether you're creative or you're in some other industry, just a professional in other industries, there's certain baseline things that transfer. And it's important that we get those foundations right, so that we're stepping into these rooms and approaching people in a manner as palatable, where people want to hear what you have to say.
Yes.
But there's an art for that, right? And so it's important that you do get mentorship, as I had mentioned earlier. That's so important. But yes, to answer your question, we mentor both men and women.
Yes, and that's why we changed this from the C-suite, from the She Suite, and we added the He Suite. You all need us too. Oh, yes. Look at that. He's going to open the doors. They're going to open the doors, and before we leave, you all will know where they are. They're going to open the doors tonight again when they're normally closed for all of you to do your thing. That is mentorship. Without mentorship, you will not be successful. Without a network, without mentorship, without other people, you will not be successful. Last question, because I'm going to get in trouble. Go real quick. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Because I wanted to hear from the sister. So go real quick. Real quick. Come on. Thank you. Okay. Miss Monique. Miss Monique, can I ask you this, Miss Monique? Would you mind answering that out over on the side after the panel? Perfect. You see, connect with this young lady? That's perfect.
And I
perfect.
have 4 children.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Perfect. So listen, I want you all to tell me this. Was this helpful? Excellent. All right. I want everybody to their feet. To their feet. Everybody to their feet. All right, and now DJ, I thought we want to go out on something, but before we do that, I want you all to tell me your relationships are your what? Good. Number 2 was what? No mean shift or pivot. Right? And the third is what? Y'all got it. Y'all got that. All right, good. And being a chameleon. And you are enough. Just like this brother said. If today does not work, it does not mean, they cut me off. It does not mean that you're not good enough. You keep it moving. You navigate all of the terrain. You got you. I'm Kim Reed. That is Karita Weldon. That is Monique Douglas. And we are the She-Suite.
Listen, Soror. Y'all, what? I'll give you some music. You did that. You gave like all the gems. You did that. You know we need it back again. I said you did that. You gave all the gems. I said you did that. You got to run it back again. No music. No music. Hey, y'all already know. We don't need no music. Okay? Y'all give it up for these powerhouses for She-Suites. Listen, I am a girl's girl. I love women who inspire. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for inspiring all the women in the place. Sis, you know I love you. I'll see you in the back. Y'all give it up for my powerhouses. Yes.